I think Europe is an interesting place to develop because there's several dynamics at play. I think the UK market is probably more classically aligned with the US market, for example, but then you have Germany, which is a far bigger market, arguably or debatably, than the UK market is in video, and the French market. So there you've got your three core markets that you have to enter. And then, of course, Italy, Spain, and the advanced markets like the Nordics as well, and questionably Israel and that area as well. So I think overall it's an exciting market. I think you have to understand the different dynamics and levers within each market and how you make your play within each market and what resonates, from a business-to-business point of view within each market. BrightRoll is a platform play. And the word platform probably needs a little bit of clarity because it's an overused word in both ends of the value chain. But from BrightRoll's point of view, we are a unified platform between the buyer and the seller. And to use your vocabulary, we are an open ecosystem where we have many technology partners plug into that platform and grow and build businesses off that platform as well. So the subtle difference, if you like, with BrightRoll is that we don't sit necessarily as a point solution within the value chain. We sit across the value chain as that technology platform. That means that we trade with advertising agencies. We'll trade with clients, where they want to. We will trade with other DSPs and we'll trade with ad tech companies. And so we look at several demands and hedge all three, if you like, demand areas into the exchange. And on the other side, we'll work with a live rail, but also we'll work with publishers directly as well. So the subtle difference, I think, with BrightRoll is it's a lot closer to a trading exchange, where a trading exchange, a financial trading exchange, will plug into Bloomberg and work very closely with Bloomberg and Bloomberg's trading desk. But a financial trading exchange, the London Stock Exchange, the New York Stock Exchange, will have their own consoles as well and trade directly with brokers or directly, with traders. So I think the subtle difference with BrightRoll is that it has the whole breadth of demand sources at one end of the value chain and the whole breadth of supply sources at the other end of the value chain.
And finally, how do you see video coming into the marketplace, into this exchange system? How is it developing maybe over the next couple of years in Europe? I mean, that's a very general question, but what are your thoughts on the development of the industry?
I think it has a complexity to it that display didn't. Display and press and magazine advertising over what was essentially a decade of change almost had this sort of hockey curve of change, probably in the last 3, 4, 5 years or so, where people just sort of suddenly sat and wondered, gosh, what just happened? And a lot of the traditional publishers and the big brand names across the UK and across Europe really switched into gear, and took on measurement and took on accountability and took on programmatic trading, and took it on in a very sort of confrontational way. I think maybe the difference in video is that there's a huge amount of money in a very well-established legacy business controlled by a smaller number of companies and senior level executives. And that, I think, is a phenomenal conundrum, a phenomenal challenge, especially in the UK, but I think across all 3, 4, 5 major markets in Europe. And I think how that is going to play out, particularly in the next 2 or 3 years or so, is going to be fascinating to be a part of and fascinating to watch.